Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is, of course, the world famous Third and Long podcast on your Thursday evening here in the UK. My name is Shane Harris, alongside the podcast OGs, Oliver Butler Henderson and Ollie Hope. Gentlemen, how are we doing? It's been a bit of a week, shall we say?
It's been an interesting week. I love the fact you call us world famous, yet 98% of our audience are UK.
We're working on it. We're working on it. It's fine. It's fine. Progress is a slow process, but
Oh, I ain't gonna lie that one, mate. Ain't gonna lie that one at all.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting week in the NFL. The stories never stop.
Yeah, they do
I bet.
say.
I bet. Sorry, my attempt at handling humour there.
I mean, they do say that the NFL never sleeps, and it's kind of starting to show that way, isn't it? I mean, there was us thinking on Tuesday morning, going, God, this is a quiet week. What are we going to bloody talk about then? Bang, 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 bang. It's almost like Wednesday and Thursday. Let's everything go mad. But yeah, it's all a bit of fun. It's all a bit of fun.
So, yeah, so do you want to start on a rather somber note then?
Yes, let's go.
Yes. So my team and Mr. Harris's team below me, former QB Ryan Mallet sadly passed away on Thursday afternoon USA time, Wednesday morning our time due to drowning off the coast of Florida. Spent 6 years in the NFL. Third round pick. I think he went 15th in the third round. I can't remember exactly. I did write it down, but I can't remember where it is now.
He was
Sorry, buddy,
the
74. Go on.
74th overall. Sadly passed away. I mean, he spent 3 years in New England as Brady's backup before going on to Mr. Harris's team, where he he didn't actually lie. He went on to Texans and then went on to Mr. Harris's team, where he actually saw him play in Wembley.
Do you know what? I wish that was the case, but in all honesty, I didn't go to that game. I know exactly where I was when that game was on. And I was watching was in one of my local pubs in my hometown, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go to that game because we got absolutely mullered by
I
the
remember that
Jags.
game very
was that
well.
when,
I was
was that when Blake Bortles went off?
yes.
Yeah,
It's
you know
when
the old saying, boys. You know the old saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
hey, yeah. I mean, he had 345 passing attempts, 119 completions. He was a career backup. He sat behind for Brady 3 years, learning from the GOAT. But he never made it, which is unfortunate. I mean, he was went on to be a high school coach afterwards, where he spent a couple of years there. And he's actually been on
Okay.
He's been on Good Morning Football a few times as well. I've seen his face and Dorset tones on the TV every now and then. So he's been around. He knows his stuff, and he was a good TV guy to have around. Obviously, he's got a ring, I think, as well, if I remember correctly from that time. But he's been around. He's a good player. It's just sad. He was 35 to someone to lose that young. To unforeseen circumstances, no one should die that age, and no matter what it is, and it's a horrible thing.
Yes. I don't really know
Go on. Go
this
on.
guy because obviously he didn't play for the Niners, and I didn't know as much about NFL back in those days, but I did know him from Good Morning Football and things like that. So it's terribly sad, and as you guys said, 35 is incredibly young to lose somebody.
Yeah, so
I mean, he did, pass for the Ravens only score at Wembley. So, that's probably the biggest thing he ever did in his career. But as we said, 35 is no age to go. Thoughts and prayers are 100% with his family from ourselves at this very sad time.
It is interesting, though. He sat behind two of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation. Flacco and Brady.
Are you calling Joe Flacco one of the best quarterbacks of our generation?
Of our time.
That's an E. That's an E. That stands for elite. Yeah.
I I'm not going to say he's not in the Brady, Manning, that kind of era, but then you've got that next tier down, which is a very, very good tier of quarterbacks.
I'll tell you what, it's a
Yeah.
good job Phil's not here, otherwise he would be arguing this.
That was the
I'm
next thing I was going to say. It's good job my buddy Mr. Perrin's in about.
Would you not lie? Brady, Mannings, I'm going to put into that and are creme de la creme. And then you got the next one, and I would put Joe Flacco in that section.
I would not put Joe
The last
Flacco
20...
anywhere near that section.
We'll say that. But we are going to say that for another show. Definitely going to say that for another show.
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson,
Trent Dilfer.
Joe Flacco is not. I mean, just put Trent Dilfer in there, just so we feel listening.
Interesting if he is listening, but yeah, I mean, I would put him in that next bracket. He's a ring, but yeah, well,
but I mean, Nick Foles.
This is for another show. This is definitely for another show. This is going to be interesting. I mean, we got a month without football.
Jimmy Garoppolo has about 3 rings.
He didn't play in 2 of them. At least Joe Flacco played.
In any event, gentlemen, conspicuous by his absence is our illustrious colleague, Mr. Perrins. He's got a lot on this week. He does send his apologies, but he did send me a picture of himself dressed as Batman today. So I guess that's a case of don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want. Maybe he's probably out fighting crime or something.
I don't think it's good as the Cowboys cheerleader costume.
So he sent you a picture of himself dressed as Batman, and you didn't load it for the podcast.
I was going to keep it until we could put it on the socials and see if we can get another caption.
Thing is, though, which Batman would he call him? Who would he call him? Which Batman would he be?
He did also send me a voice clip of him doing an impression of the Keaton Batman, so I think that's a wise choice.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
While we're talking about the socials, we did put a poll on of our Wheel of Fortune teams, and
Where's that mute button before? Where's that mute button gone?
Happy to say that Hope Hornets won the poll.
Hopeless Hornets.
I mean, yeah, you can't pay off your friends and family to press one button, mind. It's supposed to be impartial.
I didn't pay off anyone.
Mom, here's a 10. Press this button for me.
I can assure you, my mum does not have Twitter.
Right, let's not go on to the mum jokes, right? Shall we?
Anyway,
we'll leave that for another time or in private. Has the NFL got a gambling problem or controlling gambling?
I don't think it does. There's 11 players from like hundreds, maybe even thousands.
Aren't they all in the same division?
No.
Colts and Titans are. Lions aren't, are they? No.
Lions are in a different division.
And nor Washington, yeah. So I was just trying to work that out. See, this is my issue. We all like a flutter. We all like a gamble. We all do it. All 3 of us. There's one below us who works in a shop.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got Ivan Toney over here, who's got an 8-month ban.
Dave's just said, my question is why they need to do gamble.
That's a fair point.
While being in a professional sport.
Yeah, but you can say that about any sport. Footballers do it.
I think, Dave, in all honesty, it's like I think it's the rush of winning. I don't think for them it's about the money. I think for them it's about look, I was right this week, or this happened, or that happened, and stories to tell, and sort of the rush of gambling. Speaking from somebody who sees it day in, day out, every day, yeah, I can see exactly the effects it has on people.
Yeah, we all have our limits, don't we? Depending on what we can spend.
You need to look at this differently because there are 2 different offences that have happened. So for Jamison Williams and Stanley Berryhill, they got a 6-month ban for betting on a different sport while at the team facility, whereas the rest of them have got a year ban for betting on NFL.
Don't forget, we also had Calvin Ridley, who was betting on NFL when he wasn't playing.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I get you want to have a punt, no pun intended. But don't punt within the sport you play, and in pubs, not against your team. Yeah, I mean, David's spot on there. I'm going to bet Patriots are going to beat the Niners this week because I know it's going to happen. I'm playing for them. I know this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Just use that example before you start kicking in.
Yes, I know.
I
was biting my tongue.
That is, that's what they do. It's like say Matt goes up to Jimmy, going, "Should we have a cheeky tenner on it and see what go on what we're going about it, and on the sidelines and stuff like that." Even though he's now a Raider, Jimmy, but it's that kind of thing. It's trying to get one up on your mates, trying to be, it's like you said, the thrill of winning. Gambling addiction. I mean, you'll know this more about me than I will, Shana, because you see it day in and day out. Gambling addiction is crippling. It spans into other things and crime and stuff like that and all that kind of thing. This is what they need to get hold of. They need to find out are they gambling for a little bit of fun? Are they gambling because they're addicted to it? Are they gambling because they're in trouble? Are they gambling because they owe money to bigger organizations? So this is what they're going to do. Gambling is, we all do it for fun. We all enjoy it. We all have a cheeky gamble on a Saturday afternoon for the football and all that. I mean, even Ted Lasso in the last series, sorry if you have not seen it, him and Coach Beard had a cheeky little gamble on each other, wasn't it? It was Tony. You are correct, Dave. He said he had the gambling addiction. This is it. Do players have an addiction? Do they need to sort these out? Do these players need to have help? When Calvin Ridley got done, he was done for betting on a team that wasn't even him. He didn't even know any of the players in the team. He just wanted to have a little flutter.
It's funny how you talk about the help because the Colts haven't exactly helped the two players that have been charged. They've waived them both.
Yeah. Lions have stood by their guys and gone, I'll tell you what, the Lions haven't released a statement saying, look, we're going to go and get help. We're going to help these guys. We're going to sort all this. These two lads have been waived. What happens if they do have a gambling addiction? What happens they don't find themselves another contract in 18 months, 2 years time? They are literally living on the streets because their addiction's taken hold of them. And they are now begging for money. They are robbing people, killing people for 50 quid to go and buy themselves lunch or to get themselves their next fix. This is where the NFL needs to look at. They go, right, yeah, okay, we'll let you gamble. We'd rather you gamble in the facility where we can keep an eye on you to make sure it's not a bigger problem. But yeah, obviously you can't bet on the NFL because that's just ridiculous. But the NFL needs to do something to make sure it isn't an addiction or a problem that's going to take hold of the player's life. Because gambling ruins people.
The problem with that in the facility thing is that's what Williams and is it Berryhill have been suspended for.
Yeah, Rashad Berry.
But it wasn't. Sport.
So why are they being
facility?
So that's a really stupid one. Yes, I get the punishment. I get that because it's in the NFL facility and the NFL doesn't like them being tarnished. Yet they can let people go and beat their wife and play 2 weeks later. Different Mills, that's all the story. But they haven't betted on the sport. They haven't betted on the NFL. I think it was horse racing they've been betting on, for crying out loud. We've seen Brady and Edelman and loads of Garoppolo and all that lot be at bloody Kentucky Derby every year. They're not getting done for it. You could tell me they're not going to Kentucky Derby, one of the biggest horse racing events in the world, especially in the American side of the ocean, and they're not going to put a cheeky tenner on that horse to win.
No, yeah, but that's not in the NFL facility.
But they're still gambling.
Okay, whether the rules are right or not, the rules are the rules, and everybody else has managed to follow them. So Dave's quickly said, I think a few years ago, America was banned from gambling. Now they have opened this up to many other states just to make this easier for have a bet.
Vegas.
100% correct, guys. 100% correct. They've only recently legalized sports gambling, and the maddest thing about this whole Colts issue with Isaiah Rogers is he put $1,000 on a bet for the over under of rushing yards of a running back of his own team. No wonder they got rid of him. That's basically poking the bear with a sharp stick.
Well, it's been like Ivan Toney.
What did he do? Did he bet over under?
I don't know. It's just weird. Rogers' wages included $1,000 prop bet on the over/under of rushing yards of a Colts running back. So I'm not too familiar with American betting and wages and that sort of things. But then, but I think it's a case of he's bet on will they run over a certain amount of yards this season? That's insane.
It would have probably been over under for a game. So maybe Jonathan Taylor over 76.5 yards or something.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that when you see that, you deserve to be cut. But
that's incorrect.
I do hope the Indianapolis Colts gone. Right, okay. Is this a one-off? Are you doing this? Is there an issue with this? Before they've gone, get out the bloody door, because that's what it needs.
As Dave said, surely this is against the HR rulebook.
Yeah. The thing is, I've read the NFL gambling rules. I can't make love or money of it. I really can't. It's like, so they're not allowed to do that, but they can do that, but they can't do that, but they could do this, but they can do that. It is very grey in places. Yes, there are black and whites. What they need to go is right. No gambling. Full stop. End of. If you need help, you can call XYZ number anonymously, or XYZ number not anonymously, and we will find you help. We will give you help to beat this addiction, because it is. The gambling is an addiction. Whether you put on a couple of quid here or there, every Saturday at the football, it is an addiction.
David suggested call Shayna.
Yes.
Oh, leave me alone. Nothing to do with me, bud.
Shayna will be going, put 20 quid on that horse to win, mate. You'll be guaranteed.
Whoa. Done now. Can be sweeping the roads before I know it.
Shayna's specials will be back when the season starts.
Oh, we have some I expect. Well, you were saying about you were saying about the reason for professional athletes to gamble. Eventually, they will. Well, it may be something to do with the fact that they're in money troubles with a lot of dangerous people. You've only got to watch the film The Last Boy Scout to have an idea of that kind of thing. If I know Ollie would have seen it, and Ollie BH would have seen it. I don't think Ollie Hope would have seen it. It's an 18, and I don't think he's old enough to watch those films. At the moment. That's basically an idea of what.
I am 24.
I would never have said that, my old buddy.
Dave said, "Ha, you will get to talk to NFL players."
Yeah, but I also got a job, dude.
I'd rather be talking to NFL players and working the bookie, mate. No offense.
Go on, but.
Show would be good to have a betting edition with Shane as host.
Oh, we can put a pin in that, Dave. We'll put a pin in that.
Like I said, Shane special will be back in the start of the season.
Yeah.
We're going to rival 888.
Oh, okay. Right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Going back to it. Players with gambling. I hope the NFL have gone right. Okay, is there any issues? Do you need any help? Like Ivan Toney's got help in the FA.
So
Yeah.
Dave said, don't want to push to gamble though. Yeah, well, we don't.
As I always say, please gamble responsibly. Only gamble what you can afford to lose.
When the fun stops, stop.
Damn right, 100%.
Yeah, completely. The fun's definitely stopped for them because they've not got no jobs.
Stop.
Oh, harsh.
I just realised what I said, and I do apologise.
Yeah.
What's on the
Yeah.
agenda next time, boys?
I've got a question for you. Did you guys cover this in April when I was not on the show?
Not as in depth, I think. It was talked about, but it wasn't
No,
as in
Because
depth.
I
it's glossed over.
remember exactly where I was when I heard the news.
Yep. I mean,
was
it's
in the queue for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios, just in case you guys were wondering.
Brilliant.
I personally think this is possibly the third time we've mentioned this. Because obviously when it broke with Calvin Ridley got done last year, got suspended for the season, while injured, which is strange.
Well, was he injured or had he stepped away from mental health?
That it would have been that one. Stepped away from mental health, that was it.
Yeah, that's what I remember that now.
Yeah, it's did like Calvin Ridley's mental health stem because of the gambling?
No, I don't think that's.
Or did the mental health, hurt the gambling more, or was it the gambling was a escapism from mental health issues those games?
That's what I thought it was at the time.
Yeah. A little bit more cheerful news. And yes, Dave, I would love to know your take on this. We will get to that one in a second, though. We're going to hear JJ's Dorset tones in the booth.
And just to be clear, this is for CBS, not CVS.
What? He was CBS?
So as a
He does
joke,
say CBS.
as a joke, he announced first that he was joining CVS.
Oh, as in the chemist.
Yes. and then put a video correcting himself on Twitter.
Oh, I see. I shared the video, and I don't know which one it was because I was in work, and I was like, better share that. Yeah, we all got work livings, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame. Well, two of us have in this show tonight. Yeah, so do you think, because obviously Tony Romo in the booth is brilliant. I don't care what anyone says. I think Tony Romo is brilliant. He sees a play before he even snaps. Are we going to have that same kind of level of punditry from JJ that we get from Tony?
No, because he's not doing that sort of thing.
Oh, what? That's
He's going to be doing the CBS pre-game and halftime shows.
The analyzing and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yes.
I know. I mean, do you think he's got a charisma for it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's nothing worse than having a very, very good player, as we know about, football, soccer over here, as we know. Like, Jermaine Genius was all right as a player. What a boring pundit. Mike Rowan was world class as a pundit. And now let's be real. He's so boring. Paint watches him dry.
Let's put it this way: the best pundit on the on football is Roy Kent.
Jeez, you're obsessed, You're obsessed.
So Dave's just come in and said sound audio, I think. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but
yeah, don't know what sound audio is actually. Let me just Google that one. Did you say sound? Yeah, yes, it sound. I have no idea what sound audio is.
I'm sure it was something to do with JJ Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just stuff. Yeah,
So basically, the question is, does he have the charisma to carry it?
I think yes. Yeah, I think yes. I think he's very much liked. He's not opinionated. He will say it as it is, but not be harsh about it or anything like that. He'll be a.
Dave said JJ Watt to CBS as sound audio.
Okay. Interesting side note. Do you know who Ryan Mallet's first touchdown pass was to?
Go on.
Edelman.
JJ Watt.
JJ Watt, really?
In Houston.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
His first touchdown pass was to JJ Watt.
There's a quiz question for Friday night.
Hell yeah. How about that
Not
for
bad.
an Easter egg for you?
No,
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
quite like this. I think he's going to be really good. I like Andrew Whitworth on Thursday Night Football. I think he's really good as well in that booth with Sherman. I think that's a really good lineup they've got there. I don't know who they're going to have alongside him. I'm guessing they're going to have a couple of other guys as well.
Yeah,
So that's going to
he
be
said
interesting.
he said in his video he was looking forward to joining the people, can't remember the names, Coach Kelly, people like that. So he's definitely doing the CBS like halftime
Yeah.
show, Boomer, Coach Kelly, people like that.
Who was Brady
Coach
going to go?
Keller and
Was that
Boomer
CBS?
first, and
No, it's Brady's Fox, isn't it?
Brady was Fox. That was it. I couldn't
Anyway,
remember if it was Fox or CBS,
he
but
said
he
he's going
stepped
to
away
take
from there.
he said he's going to take a year off.
Yeah. Well, he's just bought into the Raiders, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
on that one.
right, I'm just watching that video, that JJ Watt announcement video now. Anybody notice what T-shirt he had on?
He's wearing a Burnley t-shirt.
Yes, he is. He's wearing a Burnley T-shirt.
Yeah, he's
Well,
just
he part owns Burnley, doesn't he?
He part owns Burnley.
That's mental. Yeah, I forget that sometimes.
So you might see him at Luton. That'd be hilarious. walking through someone's garden to get to the bloody away end. That's hilarious.
You to get a receipt, like,
He did mention something about that on fixture release day actually.
Yeah. So let's roll on to New England. Dave, I'd love to know your take on this. So this is my take on it. Devontae Parker, 3-year deal worth $33 million. It's a $14 million guaranteed. With if he's cut at the end of the 2023 season, it's a non-cap space hit. And it's created for something nearly $5 million worth of cap space in cap space, cleared up cap space this season. And then we have also then signed today is Jawan Bentley, which is an excellent linebacker. I really like Jawan Bentley. I think he's a very, very good linebacker, to be fair, which is a 2-year extension worth $18.75 million with a $9 million guaranteed. So this is a great deal. She is a fairly cheap deal as well, to be fair. $9 million guaranteed with 18.75 incentives. I don't know what the incentives are. Devontae Parker, you're not too keen on this one, Mr. Hope.
Well, my main question about this one is, with this Devontae Parker deal, do you think that means you're not getting DeAndre Hopkins?
I'm trying to point you. No. I think we've opened up cap space now for D-Hop. I really do. I think we've opened up a bit of space.
David said, sounds like they're ready to cook something.
That's such a poor pun, David. What is it with you and puns tonight? I don't think we'll go for, D-Hop and Cook. It's going to be a 1-year hit, if that, because I don't think they're going to have much more than sort of tank than that.
Dave,
the Cook is a very injury-prone player. D-Hop, is he going to get ahead of Juju? Is he going to get ahead of Devontae Parker?
Yes.
And then we've got we've got KB.
I think for you, D-Hop would be a WR2.
What, behind Juju as well?
Slander.
Yes.
Devontae Parker, I was on the same assumption as you, where before I went to watch them in New England, was against Mr. Harris's beloved Ravens. He had a great game. No way are we getting Zeke. I'm just going to put that there. No way you're going to get Zeke.
D-Hop will be your WR1. Juju's going to be a bust, according to.
Wow, Dave, I agree with you on D-Hop. D-Hop is an amazing player. Form is temporary, class is permanent.
D-Hop is not as good as he was 2-3 years ago. He's getting old now.
Yeah. David, we will have that discussion about Juju being a bust on the Patriots group chat in a bit. Juju will not be a bust.
Get that on our socials. Get that on our socials.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to be on our socials. Juju is 26. He's been in the league since he was 19. Remember that.
That's
Dave
He's
has
been
mental.
around for a while.
They said that he will make us better.
He will
Juju might still be injured.
he will give the depth. He will depth the core. Don't get me wrong, because after Juju, and I'm trying to get the bloody screen up. Juju, Devontae, and Kendrick, and possibly we don't have a strong wide R room. Will he make it stronger long term?
Get Jules out of retirement as you seem to be signing OAPs like D-Hop.
I would go,
It's got
right,
Jackson
okay, here
available.
you go, guys. 1 year deal, show us what you got. I think that's why this Devontae Parker's gone like this, because if Devontae Parker doesn't do what they think he is, shut up and let me finish. If sorry, that was a bit abrupt. If Devontae Parker's deal is the reason that I think they've done with Devontae Parker deal, if he has a real poor season, doesn't do what they wanted to do, they can let him go, not ever hit. So if we're going to go after Cook, if we're going to go after D-Hop, give them a 1 year deal. Devontae Parker is shocking. D-Hop is your man. 1,000 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns, whatever. It takes us to the playoffs, etc., etc., etc. Then you could sign him for another couple of years with the money that Devontae Parker would have had. That's my thinking. Juju being a bust? Nah. I don't think he will be a bust. I think he's got too good of a skill set to be a bust. I think in that offense would be.
I think I've asked you this question before, but I don't remember the answer. So I'm going to ask you this question again. Juju and Jacoby Myers got a similar contract. Which one would you have rather had? Dave, you can answer this question too in the comments.
I am going to go with Jacoby because he has the connection with Mac. He understands the offense and how the New England Patriot way works. But Juju is a next level. Juju is a step up, but I would have taken Jacoby.
Dave has said Juju. He also said, I think D-Hop will get a 2 year deal. Lots of incentives the second year, most guaranteed in the first year. He says Juju for the experience, but still young.
Yeah, I get that. But I think Jacoby's been around for 3 years as well. Oh, yes. 2 years, yeah. 3 years less than Juju. But
then again, Jacoby's been playing for the Raiders since about week 16, hasn't he?
No, I think it's week 15 he passed it. He gave it to another former Patriot, Chandler Jones. Funny that. Yeah, I think it's an interesting situation. You know, it's taking as long as United do to sign players. It's ridiculous.
I mean, to be honest, I'm very high on Jacoby Myers, so I'd rather have him than Juju. But
yeah, definitely. Right, as you may or may not know, June in the UK is Men's Mental Health Week month. Not just Pride Month, but Men's Mental Health Month, and it's really strange that we don't get our own month, but everyone else does. It's ridiculous. From someone myself who deals with anxiety a hell of a lot, almost daily, near enough, who's fought depression numerous amount of times and still has spouts where you're in a dark place and you just want to go and curl up in a ball and cry for an hour or two. Any men out there who struggle, please don't be one of the percentage we read where the men's suicide rate is higher than anything else. You know, what is it? 60 something percent of suicide rates are men. Do not believe in the stigma that men can't talk. It's weak for men not to talk. It shows that you're not a man if you don't talk. I'm as famous for doing that than anyone else. I struggle to talk. I've had therapy to help me try and talk, and I still go through these sessions where I struggle to talk. I struggle to open up. It takes me a time to do it and go through that. I know Mr. Perrins is in the same situation, has the same situation as that. He deals with the same thing as that. And I think we've both touched on it before. But why should we have this stigma of thinking that we don't need to talk? It's okay. Just drop a message saying, "Are you okay?" And if they say yes, just go back to and go, "Are you really okay?" There's no harm in doing that. Just to make so you know that your mate's there, or you're there for your mate. I don't want to read anything about any of my mates going passed away because they haven't been able to talk. We are here. If you feel like you can't talk to your mate, we have a messaging service. Just drop us a message. One of us will come back to you. I've had a couple of my mates end up in hospital because they've felt like they've not been able to talk. And I don't want to have any of my mates, find out anyone that had listened to us or anything like that has taken their life because they haven't been able to think they've been able to talk. Everyone's there to help. There are great mental health charities out there. Andy's Walking Club's a brilliant one. There are so many different charities out there if you don't think you can do it on your own. All I'm going to say is it's okay to talk. It's okay to express your feelings, express your worries, your doubts. It doesn't make you less of a man at all. It makes you more of a man. It makes you stronger than anything else if you open up and talk. And I know you guys would feel exactly the same about that as well, but it's okay. It's okay to talk, and it's okay to open up and feel,
It's okay to not be okay.
That's the phrase I was looking for. Yeah, I've been dealing with anxiety all my life. Ever since the time we even let go of my football clubs when I was young in trials, you struggle with depression. This is coming to a time where the NFL, there is players who are, young men who've just been made their dreams come true. They've signed for an NFL team. In 8 weeks' time, that dream could be ripped away from them. When cut deadline is, and I think it's on the 29th of August, I think it is. And that dream could be ripped away from them. And I hope there is a good support network, a good mental health counsellor to say that it's okay. There is this, there is this, there is plenty of ways to help. Because it's horrible, especially with the horrible news we've heard about Ryan Mallet this week. Yes, okay, it was unforeseen circumstances. It was drowning. It wasn't nothing to do with mental health that we hope. But it still needs to be okay. Men, you're not weaker for crying. You're not weaker for talking your feelings. That's all I've got to say on it.
No, sorry, but I'll put my little 2 pence worth in as well. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm quite a sensitive person, and I'm not afraid to cry. And I don't really care how that makes me sound or makes me look. I don't really care. I went back to Wales 2 days ago, and one of my best friends, shout out Risha, if you're listening. Yeah, and he moved from Australia. He moved to Australia and came back after 4 years. First time I'd seen him in, as I said, 4 years. We had a couple of pints, and I bawled my eyes out. I'm not ashamed to say it. It doesn't make you, like Ollie said, less of a man to be in touch with your feelings, especially in this day and age where you can be whoever you want to be, pretty much. And there's not that much of a stigma surrounding it as there was perhaps 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we just got some breaking news coming through from Dave, actually. NFL is officially suspending Jaguars offensive tackle Cam Robson for 4 games,
Okay.
violating the PED policy per source.
Interesting.
Cheers here. Thank you for that. Thanks for breaking that for us. But, if you want to come on and give us a hand while Phillips are here, you're more than welcome to.
Interesting. He used to be one of he was involved before you guys jumped on.
Yeah, he was.
Like a proper OG.
Dave's our own little rap sheet.
Yeah, Dave is our rap sheet. It's yeah. Mental health is a horrible horrible thing. I have great empathy and understanding for anyone who deals with mental health. And these people who say that it's this new back problem thing that they had back in whenever it was. You don't know what people's main minds are thinking. Just give them a bit of empathy. Just ask them, are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? Just so they know they are not on their own. I deal with people on a regular basis. I am my work's mental health officer, or one of my mental health well-being officers at work. It's something I enjoy doing because I like talking to people and make sure they're all okay, even though I'm crap at it myself. But that's just me, unfortunately. Normal service will resume next week.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get the Cape Crusader back as well.
Oh God,
we should have our top 50 ready to review for next week.
All being well,
Don't make promises you can't keep up. Don't make promises we can't keep.
I know it is coming out to holiday season. I've got a couple of weeks off in August. I'm missing. Ollie's missing some. Phil, some. I think Shayna, you're probably going to miss a couple more as well. Sometime along the line.
I'm not missing any. I used all my holiday in April.
I'm going to blood stop. I am on some. You've got a job. Don't lose on your holiday.
I'm at my holiday for this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is going to be a bit miss. I mean, we are dropping our fantasy probably going to be roughly about the same time, isn't it? Our fantasy draft about the same week, possibly.
I think it's going to be 31st of August.
Somewhere around that time, isn't it?
August.
Okay.
Yeah, we got our 50 coming up. We've got a few other things in the pipeline to choose.
QB 1 to 32.
We are going to drop a tweet out this week because Mr. Hope has come out something along the line of a game. So we're going to drop a tweet out asking for you guys to choose an maximum age limit or minimum age limit that you want us to pick a team from. So, for example, to pick a team, every player has to be under 24. You have to pick a team, everyone has to be over 33.
Okay.
When I say everyone, what's it going to be? The starting offense, fancy sizey type thing.
Yeah.
I've not thought. Probably just like starting offense, maybe just skill positions.
Yeah.
There's not big heroes on that one.
Yeah, about 10 players, not a huge amount. So we'll have that as well coming up. We've got a couple of things in the pipeline. Like I said, we got a top 50 dropping in the next couple of weeks. We've got fantasy football coming up. Is there any spaces left for this season?
There's 2 spaces, but they're going to be filled by Shane and Phil.
Of course they are.
Don't leave us out, man.
What was your team called again, Mr. Harris? Hatalika or something like that, wasn't it?
Hatalika FC. Yep, my nickname is Haggis. People who know me know that already. And Talika is obviously tribute to the best band of all time,
Well, I don't know about that because the best band of all time.
No, we're not starting this again.
UK Tour tickets going to sell tomorrow morning.
I mean,
good luck with that.
I've changed my fantasy football team name this year.
Oh yeah.
Hopeless Hornets?
No, it's not the Hope Hornets. I've gone for Purdy Little Liars.
Purdy Israel? No, that's the no.
Purdy Little Liars, like Pretty Little Liars.
Oh,
I see what he's doing. Pretty Little Liars. I see what he's doing. Very good.
I'll give you that. I want to know how many teams are going to be called Richmond AFC this year.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Third Ted Lasso reference now. Bill Lawrence, can we get him on the show?
We'll give that a go. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for listening. Dave, thank you for joining in. You're always a legend. And Drew Lamfer and Nick Thompson, you guys, thank you for joining in as well. We will be back
Wait, what,
next Thursday.
Drew said, all right,
No, I know when we're back.
Next Thursday, 8:30.
Love you, my boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.